And now we join the women's basketball player from George Mason Patriots with along aside with her head coach.
We don't maintain the same goal, right? We know that for us to do something, we have to do it here, right? We have a really brand new roster. We have 8 new players on our team, 6 freshmen, 2 transfers, and obviously there's some things that we haven't done yet, right? We're looking to win a regular season championship. We haven't done that yet. And obviously we'd love to win another championship and go back to the NCAAs. So for us, it's just step by step. It's day by day. It's taking the big picture and bringing it into bite-sized chunks so that every day we focus on just what's needed for today.
Good, Mel. Second.
Mel Greenberg. Vanessa, you're in a strong women's basketball area anyhow, but off of what you did last year, did you get a big bounce in the off season and see a lot more attention, after you won the conference title here and moved on?
Did we get a...
And there's the area of interest, public, etc. There's attention paid to your program. In the off season, once you won that title, did you notice a sort of rise the way the attention's been happening in this sport overall?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially in where we're located. We're in the DMV. It's home of basketball, really good basketball, men's and women's. And I think for coaches, we see that in the coaches in the area that really look at us as a very formidable mid-major school where their players can come and have success. And we stated when we took over this program that we definitely wanted to have a key in the DMV, and so we've been able to attract those players where I think at one time maybe we wouldn't have been able to. So to be able to keep the DMV players at home is it's really good for us.
Vanessa, Zach Weiss, Atlantic10.com. I have to ask you about Hawa obviously transferring within the conference. Just what did you see with her both on the court and just as you saw a fit within your program?
I thought for us, we like to get up and down the floor, right? We definitely lost a big presence with Nalani Kasia leaving, and we needed to fill that void, both offensively and defensively. And she fit the bill with both. Her ability to rebound in and out of position and score around the rim, her leadership ability. We like to get up and down and play real fast, and she's able to play in that style of play.
Next question, in front.
Zaza, for you, what did you learn about yourself last season, and how do you think that helped you going into this season?
I'd say I learned what it takes to win a championship. Just taking those little things like hard work, getting used to getting knocked down and getting back up, just going through the ups and downs. So I feel like I learned relentlessness. So I'll take that into this season for sure.
Any additional questions? One more for Zach.
Vanessa, when you have such an established returning group, how do you continue to push them to keep it fresh and motivate them to keep finding their next?
Well, in the off season, we sat as a coaching staff and we thought about that question. We just said, Zach, like, you can't just get complacent, and I think that's an area where that can happen when you've had massive success, historic success. And so to avoid complacency, our motto has always been believe big, but that was really just the beginning. And so when we achieved winning an A-10 championship and were able to go for the first time to the NCAA tournament, we knew that coming back with, hey, let's just do it again was lazy. And it was a presumptuous thought that other teams weren't going to be, gearing up for you. So we decided in that moment that instead of just believing bigger or believing big 2.0, we decided that we wanted exponential growth. And what that looks like in math is exponential growth means when you square something. And so we decided that we would be believing big squared this season. That we'll do the work inside the parentheses as math suggests first. And we've done that. We believe big first. And now we're going to square ourselves. And we're going to put believe on top of belief, and big on top of big, and za on top of za, and Kennedy Harris on top of Kennedy Harris, right? And this coaching staff, and we're going to square ourselves. We're not going to be presumptuous, and we're not going to be lazy, and we're going to believe big, squared.
Back right, last question.
How do you feel that Malia Johnson's championship pedigree from last year will help the team this year? I think she's a great player in her own right, but does bringing that experience bring something else to the team?
Oh, absolutely. And you said it, you know, her experience, her pedigree. We lost a lot last year in Paula Suarez and Alani Keisha and Tabi, Anna Habib, and Naku Mitchell. You know, that was an amazing team that we had. So to be able to continue to stay formidable in such a strong conference, you need those type of players, you know, in Awa and Malia. Malia she is, as they say, a dog. She can give it to you any kind of way you want it. She's lefty. She can get downhill. She can shoot the three. She is aggressive on defense. She doesn't mind hitting the floor and taking charges. She's exactly what this team needs.
Is that it? Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, George Mason squared. You know, I'm gonna edit with that. That's great. I'm like doing this math equation. What's she talking about? You tell us about her. This is your cousin.
That is my cousin,
How about
Vanessa Blair Lewis. We are cousins. Our moms are first cousins. We're second cousins, but we're kids. And you know, I'm just super proud of her. She has done a masterful job. She was down at Bethune-Cookman for years in the MEAC, Coach of the Year down there, won championships in the MEAC. But then this is her 5th year now at George Mason, and she's putting it all together. But I'm just super proud of her, and I was getting chills just listening to her because she was like, you know, believing big is lazy. We need to double down on that and believe big squared. So everything now is going to be squared for me because that just made a lot of sense, right? And you can't get complacent, especially when you win, because now you're someone's favorite meal, right? Every game. So you got to come ready to go.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there's trying to get players to believe and whatnot when you're losing and things aren't going great. But then, how about success? You know what I mean? Success. You've got to be on top of that too. So, all right, let's go to the podium again now on the men's side. Tony Skinn is with us here for George Mason.